What's good, boys? Nick Dorenzo here. It's 10 o'clock at night and I finished a long-ass day of working, doing so much shit, and then hitting the gym. I just finished my workout. But, I really needed to make a video today about what freedom truly is, because a lot of people have this weird misconception on truly what freedom is. Freedom isn't having $1 million. Freedom isn't having washboard abs. Freedom isn't being in the best shape of your life and having unlimited money and being able to buy whatever you want and go wherever you want. No, that isn't freedom. Freedom is having control over your mind. Freedom is having control over your thoughts. Freedom is maximizing every single thought that you think to really shape your own reality. That is what freedom is. Because for the longest time, I could have everything I wanted. I had a really good family. I had the dinner at my plate. I had, everything, a good childhood. But I felt trapped, and not in like a spoiled, selfish way. I felt trapped because my mind was gone. It wasn't here. I had derealization so bad to where I couldn't even feel emotions. I couldn't even feel connected. I couldn't even feel like I was seeing the world around me. I didn't even feel like I was talking to people. I didn't even feel real. So how could the external mean anything if I didn't even feel like I was here? So it was like, you could give me $10 million in this stage of my life. You could give me a Lamborghini. You could give me any physique that I could have. You could give me all these desires that I could ask for. And I wouldn't even change my emotion because I'd be so lost internally because I didn't have control over my mind. So I want to get to you guys why freedom changed my life. Why controlling my mind gave me the freedom to change my life. Because I used to think that I had control over my thoughts until I completely lost my mind after I was smoking weed. And I literally thought I had like psychosis because my derealization was so bad. I thought my brain was fucked forever. Now just think about it. You can probably relate to me. Some of you guys can relate to me because I know I get DMs about people relating to my situation about, you're just feeling God in your brain, but it's a rare scenario. And if you guys can't really put yourself in my shoes, just imagine right now that your only thought you think all day, from the time you wake up till the time you go to bed, the only thing you think about, the only thing you desire, the only thing you pray about is feeling real again. Feeling real. It sounds like the most ridiculous thought, but that's all I wanted out of life, was to just feel normal again in this state. I used to always desire external things. I used to always desire great things in my life, but it didn't really matter when I lost my life mentally. Because your mind, what goes on in here, is truly everything. It's the cornerstone to everything in your life. And when I finally decided that I was fucking done, that, today I'm still working. I'm doing the things that I had to do to get out of that situation, to maintain myself never going back to that old self. And I'm also carrying this on so I get better and I gain more control, more freedom, because I start to shape my own reality. I start to control the perception of reality that I have of myself, and I take captive over the perception that I have for my own reality. So I look at my situation and I understand that in order for me to gain control, I have to do things that I can control. So I was in this state. I was like, fuck, I'm out of my situation. I feel gone. I feel lost. Life feels hard. What can I do? Well, I can eat right. I can go to the gym. I can start meditating. I can start reading. I can start taking my mind off this derealization anxiety state. Because the truth was, my anxiety was so bad in this situation that every time I get the derealization feeling, like I was so terrified. I'd have to wake up every single day, have to talk to people in this state. So what did I have to do to not think about it? Just embrace this feeling of discomfort. Do things I didn't want to do. Read to make my mind, read out loud. I'd be in class and I'd read out loud to make sure, because it would be so uncomfortable because I didn't feel like I was talking in my body. So I would just read out loud. I would do so many different things that was like difficult. Like, you call it exposure therapy, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But I would do things that I didn't want to do to almost expose myself to the discomfort, to teach me that the only way to gain control is through uncomfort. Because the truth is, guys, all the lessons I learned to gain control over my mind, I learned in the gym. When I used to go to I go to the gym every day, but when I first started going to the gym, I didn't understand what everyone was saying about the gym teaches you all these lessons. The gym teaches you so many things. The gym is what got me to save my life, because it taught me that when I'm going through uncomfort, that last rep in the gym, when I finally want to give up and life feels so hard and I feel like I'm losing it, that is where I find my strength. That is where I find my power. That is where I gain the muscle. And when you can apply that lesson to every single solitary aspect of your life, you can start to realize that when you want to give up, when your brain feels fucked and you have such severe brain fog, you're talking to people and you just see their mouths move and you can't even obtain the information. When you're in this situation, what do? I say, this is an opportunity, because in this state, I can embrace the fact that I have anxiety. I can embrace anxiety isn't real, in my opinion. But I'm going to get to that in a second. I can embrace the fact that I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling anxious while I'm talking because I don't feel real. I can embrace myself in this situation and realize that I need to start to embrace and use this to my advantage, because every single time I feel uncomfortable, I can start to realize that the more I open my eyes, the more I can start to adjust to the darkness in the uncomfort, in the discomfort. When you look at every single situation in your life, no matter what you guys are going through, no matter what is happening to you in your life, when you can look at the situation from a perspective saying, I am going to use this as my fuel. I'm going to use this to get better. That's when you gain freedom. You know, it all comes back to the freedom concept. When I say, like, freedom is gaining control over your mind. When you can finally say that this is the day that I'm going to choose to be free, that's the first step you can take into changing your life and gaining back control over my life. And freedom comes from going through hard shit. If you guys have been through anything in your life, you know, and you've gotten out of it, you've known that it's made you a stronger, more powerful, and a better person, because of the fact that it shifted your ability to perceive gratitude in your life. It shifted your ability to want more out of life. It made you more motivated. It made you want more out of life, and it made you not okay and content with being mediocre. Because I would have been a fucking loser, smoking weed, drinking, partying, doing drugs and shit, just wasting my life away, settling, saying all my goals that I once had as a kid are unrealistic, living an average life, if I didn't go through shit mentally. So thank God, I pray every single day, and I thank God that I went through shit. Because also during this time of my life when I had derealization, I would pray to God and I would ask God for one more day to where I could just feel normal again. And I said, if I was ever granted a day to where I could feel okay again, to where I could love my life, to where I could love myself and be confident and not feel anxious, that I will never take another day for granted. And in that moment, I never turned back. I had so many hard days. I still struggle. I still feel like shit. I still have days where, you know, even today, I woke up today in the lowest frequency, but I did what I needed to do to get in a high frequency state so I can start to feel confident. I can start to drop the anxious, stressed out version of myself. You know, this is a quick video. I'm just really, really passionate about this topic. I'm really passionate about, you know, I just really care about every single person watching this video. And if you guys are watching this video and if you made it thus far, you want more out of life. You aren't okay and content with living in the societal norms that everyone wants you to put you in. You're not trying to live in the same box. You're not trying to be like everyone else. And I abide you for that, because I feel the same way you do. We're all in this together, boys. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, the link is going to be in the bio. You can DM me on there, connect with me. You can just see all my content. I post all day on my stories. You can see everything I do, but we're all in this together, boys. We're all gonna fucking win. We're all gonna take control over our lives, gain freedom of our own mind. Let's go.